Welcome back. Next up, we will be decorating one of our delicious Christmas logs. But first, we must make the sponge layer. With this mix, we make 2 sponges. We begin by cracking 11 eggs into a bowl with 275 grams of sugar and beat them together. Whilst that's mixing, we sieve 180 grams of flour and 100 grams of cocoa powder. We also add 65 grams of honey to the egg and sugar mixture. Once the eggs and sugar have been whipped up into a foam-like mixture, it's time to fold in your flour and chocolate mixture. Make sure it all mixes together properly and you get a lovely chocolate color throughout. You then spread out evenly onto a large baking tray and pop it into the oven for 10 to 15 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius. Okay, we're going to be making a Christmas log now. This is another thing which is really popular over Christmas, and I think many of you have already attempted it at home. So it's a very basic, easy recipe. We've baked it in the oven, we've put it on the greaseproof paper and rolled it without the filling. And now we're going to show you how we fill it and we cover it and decorate it. This is a hazelnut log, a very popular one that we make. This is Monica. She is my bakery manager. And also she does a bit of everything, so she's going to show you how we do it. Okay, we use some syrup on the sponge and that keeps it moist. And here we've got a filling, a hazelnut filling that we're putting in, and then we've got a chocolate ganache to put over the outside. And then we have some chocolates and some decorations that you will see us put at the end. Okay, so the first thing that Monica will do is that she's going to unroll the sponge that she's made. Add a little bit of syrup. This is just sugar syrup. We always add syrup on our cakes because it actually keeps it moist and fresh for longer. Okay, so just a bit of that. Brush it on. Be very careful. This is something that you have to handle with care. And we go adding the filling. It's up to you how much filling you put in, but we like to be quite generous with it so that we have a nice big fat log. We make hundreds of these over Christmas. Many of you like to take them on the 24th as a dessert, and it's a very popular dessert for Christmas and for New Year as well. And you can do it in any flavor you want. You can actually do a vanilla one as well, and we do a durong one as well, because Christmas means durong all round. So we roll this up now very carefully, releasing the paper as we go along. Don't worry if it breaks because it tends to be very delicate. It's a very soft sponge, but the softer it is, the nicer it is as well. We can release it and now we can actually put it on the cake board. Cut out the edges and eat them. You have to taste them. Quality control, of course. Make sure that they're nice. There's always a volunteer at home to eat the edges. And we transfer this onto a cake board. This is already looking absolutely delicious. And now we add the chocolate ganache on the outside, cover it all. Again, this is something that you can do with any combination of flavors. Chocolate is always a huge hit, obviously, especially during Christmas. But any flavor combination, white chocolate or dark chocolate or milk chocolate is fine. Some people like to use buttercream. We like to use ganache, which is a chocolate and cream, because after a heavy meal at Christmas, you want something a little bit lighter. So we're very aware of that, so we don't want to do anything too heavy. Of course, you can make the logs bigger. You can add more pieces as well, make a couple of Swiss rolls, and you can make the logs actually bigger if you're going to have more guests, but not this year. Right, now Monica is actually filling a piping bag. We're going to decorate it a little bit on the top. Again, this you can be as creative as you want and you can do whatever you want with it. Some people put icing sugar as well. And we put the holly. We've got some chocolate holly. But this you can put whatever you want. There's plenty of Christmas decorations in the supermarkets now. And glitter, of course. Monica hates glitter. But you all love glitter, so we add glitter. And anyway, I mean, it wouldn't be Christmas without a bit of sparkle, so we add the sparkle. Here we've got the finished Christmas log. I'm really hungry now. We're going to be making some pan dulce, which is a very popular, a favorite in Gibraltar. We make hundreds of these every Christmas, this Christmas more than ever. And we're going to go through all the ingredients. We've been actually mixing the butter and the sugar. Then we're going to be adding the eggs, the flour, the mixed fruit, and the nuts. We use plenty of nuts with this because we like it to be packed with lots of nuts and mixed fruit. This is a traditional recipe. This is something that I've been doing ever since I was very, very young. And when I thought of bringing it to the actual bakery, I didn't want to change it. I know that we are already a commercial bakery, but one of the main things that I have which is very important for me, is that I keep the recipe as traditional as possible. So we're going to get started. This is Lieve. She's going to help me make the pan dulces today. So we've been mixing the butter and the sugar, and now we're going to add the eggs. Okay, we make sure that we mix it really well. And then the next thing that we'll do is that we'll add the flour. We'll be slowly adding the flour little by little, making sure that otherwise we don't have a flour cloud if we add too much at a time. And it also makes sure that we blend it in slowly and it mixes in well. We make sure that it's actually mixed well but not too blended, because sometimes if you add too much flour and mix it too much, it can actually be very, very tough, and we don't want to work on the flour too much. Enough to have it well blended. When the flour has all been added, we add the mixed fruit and we add all the chopped nuts. We have the Brazil nuts and we have hazelnuts and we have almonds. Right, we've added all the flour, the mix is ready, and the next thing we're going to add is the nuts. So we have Brazil nuts, we have hazelnuts, and we have almonds, chopped almonds. Plenty of them. We always add the nuts before the mixed fruit, because if we add the mixed fruit too early, it actually breaks down and it actually makes the mix really, really brown and really dark. So we leave that till the end and just mix it really, really well. And now we go adding the mixed fruit. And give it a good mix. Okay, that will be ready in a couple of minutes, and now we're actually going to show you how we actually bring it together and shape it before we put it in the oven. Right, the mix has already been made, and now Lieve is actually forming all the pan dulce balls. We're making sure that it's all pressed in, because with all the fruit and the nuts it actually breaks apart. So she makes sure that it's all well compressed, and it's 560 grams per pan dulce. We are now going to put it in the oven, 180 degrees, for about 45 minutes roughly. Okay, we brush it with egg as well. Give it a good glaze. We've just taken out the pan dulces from the oven. They've been in the oven for about 45 minutes. And now Live is adding some warmed apricot jam. That seals it all together and gives it a nice sweet taste as well. And then when she finishes that, she'll be adding it with the traditional hundreds and thousands or sprinkles, whatever it is that you want. So a bit of sprinkles. And we're done. And that is the pan dulce complete. Thank you for joining us. I hope you have a lovely Christmas from all of us at Piece of Cake. I hope you enjoyed behind the scenes and got a few tips on how to make all the lovely cakes for Christmas.